these days we're encouraging, especially males, to speak to people. Did you feel back in the day that it was a very bravado environment, that you couldn't necessarily go and speak to somebody or ask for help at the time?
Yeah, I think that's that was the mentality back then. Often you think that you had all the answers. You feel you're weak if you do ask questions or ask for help in certain ways. But these days, that's where an awareness around mental health and all of those things is so important, especially as from a coaching perspective.
Welcome to The Biggest Man in Cricket with your host, David Brooke.
Gagi, we are here at Bootleggers on a Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Thanks very much for coming through. It's fantastic to see you.
Cool, Brookie. Thank you, man. Thank you for inviting me. I thought you're always giving your guests nice coffee from Bootlegger.
Yeah.
I brought the Sisters along, fella.
Yes, man.
For the biggest man in cricket.
Lovely, my man.
There
Thank you
you
very
are.
much. We don't need to cheers with coffee today. I've got my coffee coming now.
Lovely, fella.
Let's
cheers.
cheers. Thank you very much. Where's it from?
Go my garage.
Lovely. Let's give them a
they
shout out.
Sister Sunday.
Sister Sunday. Okay.
Rating it right up there, Brookie.
Oh, you know me, guys. On a Sunday when we had like a 4-day game.
Superb, eh? Faiki used to bring it.
Faiki used to bring it. Absolutely brilliant. It would give me a nice little boost. Perfect with a little bootlegger coffee. Hopefully they don't charge us corkage here. What do you charge? You know, normally you corkage with the wine. This is just corkage or
So
something.
we just snuck it into
We
Zara.
just snuck it in. Gogi,
Yeah.
what you been up to, Bal?
Yeah, I've been quite busy with Cricket South Africa, high performance space, spin bowling lead for the Cricket South Africa. So working with a lot of different teams. A big focus this winter has been really the under-19 side, the South African under-19 side.
Yeah.
Just sort of getting that squads together and getting the team to be playing a lot more games. We've been on a few tours, and it's been really good. We've got a World Cup happening.
Yeah.
That's happening in January, February. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's going to be quite an interesting one. I was involved in the last World Cup, which was quite good as well.
What I'm loving about all the 4-day cricket now, and it's perfect timing for a little sister. Thank you very much. Thanks, man. What I've loved about this domestic cricket that I've seen at the start of the season is that a lot of the unions are really embracing their youngsters, their under 19 players. There's so much cricket going on. There's SA20. There's a lot of under 19 tours these days. I think probably more than ever before. You know, there's camps, there's high performance camps, all of that, and I see that that there's a very young squad going to the Hong Kong Sixers, and I hear that that you're going with them as well. So just like, give me some insight into that. Like, that's quite cool that the youngsters are getting an opportunity in a tournament like that.
Yeah, so Hong Kong Sixers, it's happening soon now, and I've been appointed the coach of the team.
Awesome.
And I always used to bug the selectors when I was playing. Can I get on that tour? Can I get on the Hong Kong Sixers? I have been whacking the sixes and taking wickets, and I never cracked the nod.
They always favoured the hard-hitting batsmen. They didn't go with the bowlers.
Yeah, so but at least this time, I've always heard it's quite a good, exciting tournament. There's some real good players that play in that tournament. So for me, it's look, the pros aren't really available, the professional guys who contracted players. So we've gone to look at the Colts players and given opportunities. Some guys that are involved in the S under 90, which is a tournament, so you feel tournament pressure against, maybe you rub shoulders with some great international players that will be there, and then maybe pick up 1 or 2 tips. I'll try and create that connections, really make it worth a while, the trip, and really hopefully let's see if we can really upset some big teams.
Oh, why not? And it gives those youngsters, you know, some tournament experience with a bit of a crowd and a bit of high pressure situation. You don't have time to get yourself in, or, you know, like you've got to go straight away.
Yeah, it is basically straight away, because I was been just researching, asking them Do you warm up? Is there a place to... They say, no, it's quick turnaround. You got to get on the field and get on and play.
Yeah.
So it's, you straight into it. So
I can't imagine too many of those youngsters that have been to Hong Kong before.
no.
Amazing.
They were quite surprised when they got the call up
Yeah.
because they were like, are you sure? I said, yeah, it's the South African side. Which team is it?
Joke.
No, it's just like, they were like, I'm like, yeah, you representing South Africa, we're going.
Yeah.
And they excited. Yeah.
That's very
quite
cool.
excited, yeah.
Like, the problem is that our Colts are not playing enough cricket, right? I mean, you're involved in the full pipeline of South African cricket, but they're just not playing enough. So we've got the professional level of, Titans, Lions, Western Province, Dolphins, etc. And then there is a Colts system, but there's just not enough games. So if you're not playing in that first team in the professional team, you've got to go and play club cricket, and that maybe that level might not be as good. So we need more games for our Colts, right?
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of discussion around amount of cricket that we are playing in our domestic structures.
Yeah.
We want to be playing more. And I'll take it back to a spin bowling perspective. If you're a young spinner wanting to play your trade, you need to bowl overs, and you need to be playing consistently to get an understanding about the game, different conditions, different types of players, all of that. And that's a big learning period of any spinner is at that young age. Because I think it was Navjot Sidhu coined the phrase where he says, a spinner is like fine wine, gets better over time. so that,
Simon Harmer's a good example. I mean, he reached 1,000 first-class wickets.
yeah, and if you just looked at this series that we played, and you look at the spinners that we've selected, are all experienced spinners.
Yeah.
And Pakistan picking 38-year-olds on
Making
debut.
your debut at 38.
So I think we mustn't miss that. You've got to pick the best guys that are always in the play. I know back in the day, sometimes you say, oh no, when you hit 34 and that, no, they must move out the game, change. No, look who's the best. If they can do the work, do the job, they've got the thinking and the know-how how to go about it, they must play.
Yeah.
Best players need to be playing. But the problem is that our young spinners aren't bowling enough overs down below and developing a game. I remember back when, I'm taking back to when I was at 18, 19, I know I cracked into the international scene quickly.
Yeah.
But a lot of my ground, I would come back, play club cricket. We used to play in Cape Town 2-day cricket. So it was still double innings. I used to tell the fast bowlers, like, you bowl your first spell. Once I get the ball's not leaving my hand until the team is out. So then that's how I used to play. I used to bowl 20, 30 overs at club as well. So it played a big role. And now I know club cricket, they're playing just 50 over cricket.
Yeah.
Nowhere in the country do they play the longer format where a young spinner can develop his game.
Yeah. I mean, back in your day, I mean, you didn't have the kind of, you would never have a bowling lead. South Africa, Western Province didn't have a bowling or even a spin bowling specialist lead. Now, all of a sudden, now where you are in your career, you are the spin specialist for all pipelines in South African cricket. But I mean, who were some of the mentors, like, where did you learn the art of spin, and how did you get into it?
Yeah, the art of spin for me, I really got to focus at when I was 16. I used to mess around with it. I always tell the story of actually how I got introduced to spin bowling. I was, I think, 11, 12 years old, playing in a trial game out in Westridge, in Mitchell's Plain, out that way. I'm running in bowling quick with that action. And all of a sudden, an elderly gentleman comes onto the field and he stops the game. And he says, young man, hold the ball like this and just bowl a little bit slower.
Wow.
And it was, okay, spin. Yeah. But then obviously I went back to bowling fast again and all of that. But for me, it was, okay, that was spin. We never had internet back then. We never had these things that we got now, social media, everything is access to you. People just on their phones, all of those things are so important. But back then, it was nothing. It's just word of mouth. I went back to fast, but then when television, we also got reintroduced back into international cricket. And the person that really inspired me towards spin was Shane Horn. When I saw that ball of the century and what he was doing when he burst into the scene, it was just phenomenal. I was like, I want to do that. I want to make the batsman look like a fool. It wasn't about getting him out. It was making him laugh, laughing at him and all of that thing. So it was fun. And obviously with my different action, I had to figure out, okay, but Shane Horn turns the ball away. I'm left, but how do I do that? Figuring it out with a tennis ball, backyard, playing around.
Nice.
And then I developed my grip with the 2 fingers. And then I found, the ball's going away to a right-hand batsman. And we also didn't have, where we knew it was a googly or whatever, so now I'm turning the ball in, I'm turning the ball away. So...
You didn't even know what a Chinaman was, probably.
No, none of that stuff. I just bowl. And then we would play club cricket and that, and you'll have the older players standing at slip, and you'll go, turn it away, turn it in, turn it away. I remember the story when I got to St. Augustine's, Alison Johnson, West Indian that played also way back, for Western Province back then. He was playing. So he used to stand there at slip, and the Oaks used to tell him like, Jono, stop telling Paul what to do the whole time. He's like, turn it in, turn it away. He's like, standing at slip, guiding me. I'm guiding the youngster, man. I'm guiding the youngster, man. But it was
He's
fun.
a character, like a legend in club cricket. I mean, he's been around for years, old
Yeah.
Just, I mean, like some of the, Werner has spoken about the importance of club cricket, like Ash also spoke about it. And that obviously played a very big role for you because you didn't go to a traditional kind of cricketing focused school. Club cricket was your breeding ground, right?
Yeah, so growing up in Grassy Park, it was important, and our club cricket was where it really served the community.
Yeah.
On a Friday, the young players used to go to the club. Often was a teacher maybe at the school that'd say, we see you have some talent with the cricket, join the club, come on a Friday afternoon, we practice down there at Roy Krantz Avenue in Grassy Park, and you register and you play on a Saturday. So it served the community in that way. And that's when I actually got seen. We played as a club, I was at Bluebells Cricket Club, and we played against Plumstead High. And then the school asked me, come to the school. You got better facilities, you got turf wickets, you can come here and develop your game. And JP followed the same route. His dad came with JP to my parents' house and that, and they sat down and asked, like, how did Paul get through the system? How did he get no? They came and he said, that's the way we went. And JP followed suit in that way through Plumstead High. Rory also, they went the same time around there. So it's important that the club then, I was still affiliated to the club.
Yeah.
I didn't just leave the club. So the moment my school game was finished, I'd go play thirds or fourths. It started late in the afternoon, and I would still play cricket to the club. And then later on, I had to sort of move to a higher division in my club. That's when I moved to St. Augustine's. And first game up, wickets, 6, 7, 8 wickets, and then that's the season that I made the big impact.
Sure.
As well, yeah.
And what I will always remember it, and I remember you made that impact, and all of a sudden, this Paul Adams came from absolutely nowhere. The England tour, loving it. I mean, we were growing up at that same time, and I will always remember something that will stick in my mind was you got a car. At some point, you got a man of the series or something. You got a sponsored car or something like that. But you weren't 18. You were 18, but you didn't have your license or something like that. I will always remember that. It's a great story.
Brookie, you're going to give our age away now. It's the 30 years anniversary of that.
30 years, wow.
30 years ago, eh?
Listen, you're looking good, man.
But
you're looking good.
Yeah, but you're quite right. I learned to drive on the sponsored cars.
I'm sure the sponsors were thrilled about that.
I used to take my bicycle back in the day and ride and jump in the train, still try and get to Newlands practice. But then, learned how to drive.
Listen, I mean, you literally learned how to be an adult very in the public eye. I mean, that must have been extremely tough.
Yeah, it was daunting. I think people who know me from school days, I was always very quiet. You'll just hear my name in assembly through taking wickets or scoring runs.
Yeah.
Sitting actually in the front of the class, because then the teacher always looks at the oaks at the back. But so I was very quiet, and very to myself in that sense. But just love sport. And then all of a sudden, hit into the scene. I remember the first game. We played against Northerns at Western Province there, and I took wickets, and everyone after the first day, it was on Super Sport still the game.
I remember.
And my picture, the videos were all over the show. And then my first interview, I think, was Darren Scott. He's asking me after the day's play like questions, and then I didn't know how to answer. I was like, did you enjoy yourself? Yes. Like one word answers and stuff going on here. I was like, the guy's like afterwards, he said, yo, Paul, you've got to actually talk, you've got to elaborate on the Paul. And now, you can't shut me up.
Yeah.
I have to talk all the time.
Yeah. Now you're on a podcast, it's going to be an hour. So I've learned over the years. But I mean, for a youngster coming through, especially, you weren't just a youngster, you were a youngster that was completely different to anything that the world had seen. Firstly, like, the opposition is one thing, but your own teammates, like, how does that, no coach can coach that, firstly, from a coaching point of view, but also, like, from a wicketkeeper point of view, they've never kept to somebody like that. Yeah. Who was the wicketkeeper at the time when you first made your Proteas debut?
It was Dave Richardson.
Dave Richardson was still playing at the time. Yeah. Jeepers, okay.
Dave
so, I mean, what was his reaction when he saw this now?
I could have been his son. Where's the call Uncle Dave?
Yeah.
But it takes me back, actually, thinking about it, what you're saying, like the wicketkeeper getting burst onto the scene to something new, especially like a wicketkeeper. When they used to bowl, I used to often have a signal.
Yeah.
I used to have hair back then. And I used to rub my hand through my hair. Okay, now the ball's going to go in.
Yeah, okay.
And just like little signals until they really got understanding.
Yeah.
And obviously doing work outside in the nets.
Yeah.
Just alone with no batter, no distraction. And then discuss and find a way out to how we can work this out and not show any signals to it. So that was, part of the whole how to get to know each other and all of those things.
Yeah.
But it wasn't an easy one. I only, when I burst on the scene, that sort of, it just happened, like, and I was just playing cricket, and it's quite a blur almost. People always ask, how did you feel? Everything happened quickly. I was just riding this, I was enjoying it, I was up and about, next plane, first on planes, and traveling, staying in hotels.
You even have a passport at the time?
No, nothing. And then I had to go to the World Cup, Pakistan, in India, the 96 World Cup, straight away. And it was like that actually happened.
Yeah.
But you only realize that later on. You sit back and you reflect. Like when I was 25 or 26, I was thinking like, okay, it was quite cool or whatever, but your impact, what you made and what it meant. Even I walk around the streets today, people come up to me and say, you are a hero, you were the one that inspired us to we can do it and go out there. So you realize that only later what impact you've had on people and things, but not at the moment when you were there playing. I remember Madiba invited me for lunch. I got the call, Zelda, his PA called me and said, Mr. Mandela would like to invite you for lunch. I was like, are you sure? Yeah.
Not quite Nando's in
Not Nando's now. I'm going to go up to Bishop's Court to his house there.
Yeah.
And I arrived. It was good afternoon, meeting, and we're having lunch. And I was just sitting there. But the one thing he did he emphasized why he invited me.
Yeah. Was it just you that he invited?
Just
like, oh wow, okay.
Just me sitting there.
Okay,
he said we've met a few times before, but he wanted me to have a chat about actually what it meant and give me the perspective of actually how important I am actually for the nation and for the people.
Sure.
And it wasn't just for that moment. He said, your impact you made and how you need to carry on and how you go on as a person or as a cricketer, is important, because you'll inspire people for generations as you go through. People will remember you. Your impact is big. So you've got to keep on with it and keep pushing and keep inspiring young cricketers and keep going with it. So from that, it's always a moment I remember, and I draw inspiration from a lot. When I want to put something together, I'm always phoning you, Brookie, for I've got this idea, I've got this something.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find ways of how I can always just try and inspire and see how things can be better for not just maybe cricket, but just people in society.
That must have put a hell of a lot of pressure on you, though, when Madiba says that to you. I mean, you're still in the start of your career. Like, you start realizing it's not just about performance. It's about how I do it and what I do off the field. And was that, I mean, did that help you, or did it put a little bit too much pressure on you? Because you maybe were a bit more conscious of what you were doing off the field. To, at that age, you had to behave yourself effectively.
Yeah, sometimes you just reflect on it to inspire you in some tough moments. When you think everything is just on you and clouding you, then you just got to think of that moment to say, look, there's a bigger picture here. Just get up and get going again and be positive. Let's go with it. And not just think for that moment of where you're doubting yourself and all of those things. Try and think of, I think it gives you energy, gives me energy in that sense. Then if I just sit in a dark place in a hole and you think the world is just caving on you, I almost think it actually just brings it out. Because when there's a lot of tough moments when you play cricket.
Yeah.
I think there's almost more failure than actually success when you play cricket. The law of averages does tell you that. And cricket is a game where actually, if you can deal with your failures or deal with your negativity, and if you can deal with those moments best, is actually when you'll have success. Because a lot of people or a lot of cricketers will dwell too much into the negative space, and it will sometimes cloud them completely. That it will take too long to get out of that space.
Yeah.
Then next you're out the game again. It's a cutthroat industry. You could need performance. And it's a tough industry to really make it. No one scores 100 after 100 after 100. That's like a freak thing to see when someone does do it. Well, Matthew Presky.
Yeah. But cricket will humble you. You get a duck in the sixth game.
Yeah, you'll get a duck, and then you need to deal with it.
Yeah.
You like wonder what's going on. But or you get hit smash. Take for example a spinner. You'll get smashed for 6. You'll get smashed for maybe 3 6s, but then you got 3 other balls to get the batter out.
Yeah.
So you can't be dwelling on those 3 6s. You got to think, okay, this is the situation of the game. How do I deal with it? How do I think about this game now and get the batter out? Is it a change of field? Is it a chirp or two to something? Play the mental game. So there's a lot of ways to go about it, but that's why I like, as even my coaching is always, I try and look for the positive route. Try and look for the positive, and always steer in that direction to win a game.
I love doing my shooks or shock that I actually did prep for these podcasts, but I actually do a lot of prep, even though I've known you for years, and as I said before, most people know your story, but the one thing that really took the world by you, those world headlines was last year when you were part of the Women's World Cup setup.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I'm reading an article that Paul Adams is quoting poetry to the ladies before matches. I'm like, Gogi, poetry, what's going on here? But it spoke about your reinvention all the time, and your wanting to learn, and your evolution as a coach. Just tell us how firstly did that come about? And I mean, even Laura Wolfhard, all the players absolutely loved that impact.
Yeah, I so during the World Cup, and I worked a few months with them before leading into it.
Yeah.
And then Dylan Dupree was the head coach.
Yeah.
And we kind of, as a coaching staff, developed how we were going to work. Each one has their role, and we kind of took control of each situation. So Dylan handed over to me as the pre-match talker, motivator.
Because he's quite a quiet guy.
He's a quiet guy, yes. And he thought Paul you talk well, do things differently to get the ladies really inspired, really get it going. And I had to think a bit out the box, and I thought, okay, it's a tournament. Sometimes we want to keep things fresh. I don't want to be saying the old cliche sayings, come, let's get going. We know we need to stay focused, you know. So I thought, there's a lot of pressure as well in the World Cup. Let's put a twist to this. Every game, we're going to create a theme, we create something different. The first game I did was actually, we did a bit of grounding, where I took my shoes off in the middle of the circle and I stood there and I said, let's actually be present. Let's feel the ground beneath our feet here. Let's be present and not think ahead of what the result's going to be. And because that brings anxiety, all of those things. Let's actually take it ball by ball. And then from there it went on, and I went into poetry, went into different. So it was a bit of fun. And the ladies, they loved it. They loved it. They were like quite inquisitive about what's Paul going to do in the next. They were relaxed.
They weren't necessarily overthinking the game.
Yes.
Yeah, they were thinking about other stuff. Which is
so it's something I used, and it was good fun. Sometimes I do things out the box.
Well, I mean, like, you know what, coaching, you know, coaching is not like it was back in the day where you had a teacher, like, you know, running the drills, etc. This is your job, do this, the hard, you know, you have to be a little bit more, your EQ has to be a little bit more there these days. You've got to be sensitive to the whole pressure of social media, etc. and those kind of things. And the one thing I've loved about you is that you've evolved as a coach. You know, these days, you know, you go into you've got your own coaching setup, and we're going to talk about that just now. But coaches have to evolve, right? Just as we're asking players to evolve from, you know, 4-day players to white ball cricketers to T20 cricketers to T10 cricketers, coaches also have to evolve, right?
Spot on. So important, because look, generations evolve. How people think, how people see things, technology is evolving, and as a coach, you got to stay fresh with the times. The game is also evolving all the time, constantly. So I'm one who the guys know that I'm quite a cricket badger. I'm watching cricket constantly. I'm on my phone. I'm always watching on YouTube. I'm watching games. I'm streaming, or we've now currently got an app where we've got access Cricket South Africa for performance coaches, where we can watch every game around the world that's got actually busy, which is quite cool. We can see and get stats and all of those things. So I play around on that quite a bit, just to see trends as well. So when we're working with young players, you can also, and I'm clipping on my phone a lot, video clips looking what the best players are doing, what have they done, why do they play, why do they do that so well. It's important for these young cricketers actually to see that. They a lot more. I think we're living in a more visual learning experience.
Agreed,
they're constantly on their phones.
They're on their phones themselves.
Yeah, so I use my phone quite a bit in my coaching, either while they are training, and then I also reference using videos, clips, and all of those things from there.
I mean, why wouldn't you use that technology, right? I mean, the youngsters, half the time the youngsters know more about the technology on the phones these days than the coaches themselves. So you as a coach need to be able to say, right, like, quickly analyze, and you don't need expensive equipment. You just need your phone, and you can literally put a phone on a gimbal, and, you know, you do a lot of your private coaching, and I'm sure you bring that into play, and stuff that you can see. Like, I mean, I'm loving all your stuff that you do on social media, just by the way, folks. I think that you've got obviously your formal role with Cricket South Africa, but you're doing your coaching clinics around the country. How's it, like, what's quite cool is how many kids are actually just they spinners from the start, right? I mean, it's very cool to see, especially for you as a spin consultant.
Yeah. So what I'm finding is actually there's an abundance of spinners, young cricketers, young and leg spinners, lots. But as they get older, we find them falling off, or they stop playing. And it's got to do with confidence and understanding. So what I'm doing with my own coaching, Paul Adams coaching program, is about actually going to the spin bowler who's not in a top end kind of program that gets the coaching, and that they're in, or they may be aspiring to get there, but now I'm coming down doing my coaching, and I'm making them look at small things. It's certain movements that all key spinners in the world, the best spinners in the world do, but they're not looking at it. So giving them they watch cricket now in a different way. Or it's not about taking the video and posting it on the gram or on the Facebook just for show.
Yeah.
It's actually taking the video. I'm giving you the idea of what you need to look for. And I'll show a whole range of clips about actually how they are in similar movements. They're all the same. And this is the reason why they are successful. So if we can really work with these young spinners down below at that, and then we can even just start flooding it more. There's a lot more cricketers, a lot more spinners coming through. They'll have the confidence and growing, and hopefully that mark will get, maybe there'll be a lot more coming into the Cricket South Africa structure there at high performance, quality spinners coming through. So hopefully that's a knock-on effect that does happen into the system.
Well, I watched recently a few schools SA20 games, and the amount of spinners that are coming through these schools, it's lovely to see. I saw a nice little left arm like leg spinner coming out from, I think it was Jeppy, and these youngsters, like, the reality is, I mean, these kids are not strong yet. Some of the boys are big boys, but they're still developing their muscles. They're still developing their bodies and their skills. And but what I love is that, you know, T20 cricket, you know, it's sexy to be a batter. You know, hits the big sixes, gets all the deals, etc. But the bowlers, like this, to see spin bowlers coming through is really awesome. And I think that it's got to bode well for South African cricket, right?
Yeah, and look, T20 cricket has brought on the art of wrist spin. They've taken that more into that format now. You know, back in the day, it was wrist spinners more playing in the test format. But it's now into T20 cricket. And we see them also bowling googlies, turning the ball. So they sit and they watch the SA20. They watch the IPL. And they see these spinners turning, but they don't know how.
Okay.
So this is what I'm bringing, is like, you watch your heroes play. This is how we want to go about it. And that's why you see on my Insta, I post some little clips, some coaching tips on how to actually go about it and share the knowledge on it, because we want to see and encourage spin bowlers, because that will bring the confidence. So they'll try it at home, like I would sit and learn watching and that. Shaw Langeveld always used to say, you must steal with your eyes, brother. You must steal with your eyes.
Say it how Langers would say.
Steal met die oë, meneer. Chico would always tell us that, steal met die oë.
Yeah.
So, here's the info. Steal with your eyes. Take the information in, go try it, go learn. This is what we're wanting to do, and this is what I'm wanting to do, is encourage and inspire these kids to bowl spin. If you can whack it, you even more in the business to get there. So as a spinner, I remember, I know you spoke about, you know, just batters in T20 smashing it, but I read an article, Gareth Batty, he played for Surrey back then. I read an article about him, and there was a question that he said, what is the best advice you can actually give a spinner? And you know what he said? He said, bat. You must be able to bat, because there's only one spot for you. And often the big fast bowler, he can't bat. So with the spinner, he's always going to bat at number 9 or number 8 or something like that. And you've got to be able, you'll actually have more time in the team to get selected and maybe stay in the team. You can contribute with the bat as well. Then you can start developing, you'll get your chance more to bowl. So any young spinner out there, please work on your batting as well. So it's key to stay in there, because I grew up as well. I used to bat, and then I was down at 11 when I came as a pro cricketer. But then I had to realize, look, a lot of these other guys who are coming for my place, they bat. So I had to work on it and actually put my hand up. Night watchman, I'm there. And I must show I've got it. I must show that I've got it. And I must fight it out there, you know. And it's,
you did it job a number of times.
A few times, and also sometimes really got killed. But there's some stories out there about that. But I think Vinny has also got a story of me batting out there. The one time, but night watchman. But tell that story.
Yeah, please. We love those kind of stories here.
Okay. We were in Pakistan. So it was the game, was at Lahore. So we're playing And the one he's out batting, and Makai's come in, and now all of a sudden I must play shots. Shoaib Akhtar steaming him from the boundary, all of a sudden, and now I must play shots, and I'm playing, and I'm uppercut him there for 4, and all of a sudden he has a few words with me. Now I'm not gonna say the words. He said,
say the words.
but he got called in for this as well. As I walked off the field, the guy said, "We got him. We got him. We got him on camera, and you can see the words. His mouth moving. You can see. We can report him." I'm like, "Why, guys? Why?" I'm like, they're like, "No, let's get him." And so I'm like, "Okay."
Because you don't want him to play.
You don't want him to play the next test. So the batters are like saying, "Let's get him." I'm like, "Why?" Okay. Yeah, they reported him.
Yeah.
Sit there in the disciplinary, Shoaib Akhtar, doom, ban for the next test match. This used to happen in the middle of the test. So we still got another innings to go back. He's looking at me.
Yeah.
Like, what did he do now? He's looking at me.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. We're batting. So we're chasing nicely. Shoaib Akhtar's running in. We think, okay, we calm nicely. All of a sudden, he's through his one spell, he's walked off. He normally goes, he's got a tight hammy, he walks off. He gets back onto the field. All of a sudden, Buddha, Tupana, just pulls one to mid-wicket out. A wicket happens. Then,
Later
all of a sudden, this was later, we had a partnership. All of a sudden, they call Shoaib back on. I don't know if the ball was older, obviously it's starting to reverse and that. And then he bowls. This is now later in the day. He starts running in from the boundary. This is the game where he hits Gary in the grid, and there was just blood everywhere. Neil Mackenzie tells the story. He arrived, he's next into bat. He arrives at the crease there, he's looking. He just sees blood here. First ball, bang, in the pad, he was off. Obviously, then everything settled down. There was a partnership. Now we must night watchman. Shoaib was steaming in. I'm sitting, now I'm going, yes, I'll go. So Vinny them tell the story. I'm sitting in the back of the changing room. They sitting outside by the window. He taps on Shaw Langeveld's shoulder and he goes, "Kykie agter." Yeah, I'm sitting with my pads and I'm jumping around there. They like, "No, you're nervous." I'm like, "No, I'm just getting myself jacked up or whatever." They're like, "No, you nuts. That guy, you just got in bed. You're going to take your head off, bro." So yeah, that was, a few moments like those that has happened.
Talking about Pakistan, I love that story. Talking about Pakistan though, I mean, how, when you see 3 spinners playing, Sen, Kesh and Harmer in this Pakistan, in that second test match in particular, how good was that to see? I mean, you talk about, spinners being a little bit mature, knowing their game at a certain age. There's 3, Sen Mutasamy is a great example of, he's done the hard yards in provincial cricket. He's not a youngster, but everyone goes, "Oh, who's this guy?" He's come to, meanwhile, if you follow domestic cricket, you would know who he is. But from an international point of view, he's only making his debut now.
Yeah.
How good is that to see, like those kind of 3 spinners there and winning test matches for the Proteas?
Yeah, so like Sen's journey, for instance, he was at the Dolphins, Subrain and Keshav playing there. He was playing as a batter, that bowled, but wanted to develop his left arm spin. But then he made the move to Northwest, became the frontline spinner. He's now at the Warriors, frontline spinner. And he's always had the batting in there. So also for Shukri Conrad, head coach, to have the mindset to actually play the 3 spinners, frontline spinners in that way, is a change of mindset and thinking of how to go about winning the test match. Often it'll just be 2. Maybe Aiden would have chipped in with some off spin. But he's got the artillery. I call them the weapons. So he's got the weapons in terms of where he's got spinners that can contribute with the bat and playing some all-rounding role, because also you don't want your tail to be long. You need a long batting lineup, knowing that the wickets are all going to spin. Pakistan also loaded up. I think that past series has all been spin, taking a lot of the wickets. But good to see that our spinners becoming match-winning match winners within the team.
Unit,
So important going now into the next series to India.
I looked at our we've got like 3 big series in the subcontinent in this next championship window. And if we go and we play 2 test matches, then we get 50%, and you then win your home series, you've got a good chance of getting into that final again.
Yes, because teams in the past, India used to just make these wickets for Ashwin.
Yeah.
Only place he takes wickets most of the time is in India.
Yeah.
Comes to South Africa, he doesn't take wickets.
Yeah, it's ineffective.
So they feel they make the wickets just turn square. And now all of a sudden we've got some spinners within our team that can also bowl you out. The only the challenge is obviously the Indian batters are maybe a little bit better than the Pakistan batters in that sense, in terms of their numbers, their stats, all of those things. So that's going to be the challenge. But like Keshav is now at the moment on top of his game. He's been playing amazingly. South Africa's best spinner ever to play. So it's great that he's back in there. He's getting of age because of injury, and managing him is important. But now we've also like Simon Homer coming back into the fold. He's plied his trade there in England at Essex, taking wickets the whole time, and also on turning wickets at Essex.
100%.
So he understands the game. He's learnt his trade. He's calm. The pressure is not so much really on them. They just know what to do the business.
They have a job. And what I love about Shooks, and we had an amazing conversation. We could have spoken for hours. Was he's not scared to make those tough calls, and I wouldn't say unpopular calls, but he makes the calls. He doesn't listen to the keyboard warriors and stuff. If he feels Simon Harmer is the best man for that job, he needs experience, he'll bring him back into the fold. And he comes into a side that embraces all of these things because the players back Shooks' decisions to go, this is the right man for this job. Lungi, you're not the right one. We've got KG who's going to be our main strike bowler. You're not going to be as effective as maybe a Simon Harmer in these conditions. Yeah. When we come back to South Africa, you're in, and I think creating that winning culture and the players are on the same page is so important.
Yeah, I think what Shooks has created is that the Protea badge is bigger than the players.
Yeah.
Sometimes players feel they should play every tour, every game, but you got to take in conditions, you got to take in opposition, you got to take in, do they face the ball turning in? Tougher is it, or do we want balls turning away, or is it seamers that hit the deck hard, or is it one that swings it? Once the players can understand that that's the artillery he wants to put together, and what type of batters we need to really go up against it, and that's where your statisticians, all your analysts and all of those things really come into it. And you got to take time and you got to observe the game for over a period of time to be able to come up with a combination that you can go into a different series. So you'll utilize in South Africa a different balance of team, and that's what make it. That's why I'm saying it's the badge is big. The South African team is bigger than the player.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you got to make sure you get your combinations right, and it's not about which player, and it's all about the team. And if we win, South Africa wins, everyone is successful. And it is great also to see now like Quinton de Kock coming back as well.
Yeah, I must say that took me by surprise actually. I thought, and that was on his own. I like the fact that we don't beg players. You must never beg players to want to play for your country. The fact that Quinny's come back, and he's not a shoo-in.
No.
He's not a shoo-in. If you look at Rickleton, how does Quinny get back into that side? You got to score a bucket load of runs.
It's competition.
Yeah.
When there's competition for a spot, that's when we're going to get the best out of our players. When they are comfortable and feel that no one can take their spot, then that's when we got problems. That's why you build your squad up, you build that unit up. To win the Test Championship, you needed a group of players. Win a World Cup, you need a group of players.
Yeah.
So the big goals are winning World Cups, and that's where we do a lot of the work in the background. The whole high performance group, the provincial coaches, all of them. The big goal, we have one vision is winning the World Cups, and we kind of plotted where each one is. Shukri comes down, he discusses and see what type of players he requires, and that's where Enoch, who's the director of cricket now, Cricket South Africa, has sort of pulled a few things together and trying to get everyone on the same page and see if we can work and not against each other, work with each other for the bigger picture. And that's the key thing. Making sure that everyone.
That's the secret sauce. I mean, you got these youngsters. I mean, what I wanted to ask you about this upcoming 19 World Cup is, our conditions, the school conditions, they play on pristine. Some of these kids play on pristine fields. I mean, some of the fields are just beautiful. The facilities are there. But you're going to play in, a lot of these under-19 tournaments are on the subcontinent. How do you prepare those kind of youngsters? You can scuff up wickets and all of that, but how do you prepare them to actually face the kind of conditions that they're going to face there?
Well, I think through the success of Proteas, it allows the tours to happen down below in high performance in our development programs. So we've, like now, the next World Cup is in Namibia and in Zimbabwe. We've been to Namibia. We've taken the youngsters already to Namibia. We played at the ground. It's a new venue. We were like one of the first few teams to play there, get an understanding of the environment, know what food, because young people, they want their comforts. Understand how a tour happens. Been to Zip, know what we're going to do. We also had Bangladesh involved in the Tri-Cities. We were there for a month. We were there. We understand. They understand everything. You know where to go play some paddle. You know where to go do, have a good meal and all of those things. It's all about once you can have those cultures, and we've taken a tour to Bangladesh. Complete shock. The guys are like, this is completely different. Once you can be comfortable in that, and then just play your cricket in that sense. You don't have any other anxieties. You know what's expected. That is the key thing as well, in giving them opportunities to learn. We kind of look at using, if we're going to go to the sub, try and have weird wickets so we can train, but it can't simulate the conditions like
the humidity, the
humidity and the heat. It's like you're walking into inferno. When you play.
You can work out the pitch, but you still.
And now you got to it's so hot that you got to maintain your heart rate. You got to keep yourself calm. All of those things. But if you experienced it before, you'll learn how to handle it. And that's the thing. That's part of coaching as well, is guiding them through those moments, especially young cricketers. And I think over the years now, all the tours that, if you think of our A-side programs that have gone Cricket South Africa, a lot of the players that are playing now would have gone through the A-side programs, and that's why a lot more comfortable going to the subcon and understanding conditions around the world. So the high performance program does play a massive role in developing that.
I'm loving the fact that our A side is getting a lot more action these days, which is great. And it's not just guys that it's guys that are genuinely next in line, that if one of the players pull up injured in a tour, they can go straight in, and they're not going to be overawed. They've played a little bit, maybe 1 or 2 international games, test matches or ODIs and stuff, but they're ready to go.
Yeah, that's so important. Yet you got, like I said, you need a group of players to win test championships, World Cups. And it's great now that the Indian series happens. You got an A-side there as well, so it's not too far away. Or next, you got the 3 spinners. One spinner goes down, the next spinner is right there in conditions, understanding. He just slots you straight into the squad. Any of the batters as well, understanding their game plans. So it makes sense that program has got to make sure that it's got the next best players involved, and that everyone's talking in the same language as well, going right through the structure.
I'll go back to a funny story. When we were out in, I think it was in Joburg, or one of the areas, we were part of the Western Province, the Cobra setup, and a lot of adults don't think you've grown up. Like it sounds weird that, but
that child star.
That child star.
Like Webster.
They're not used to seeing you with like a little bit of grey in your beard. They still see you because their memories of you are so ingrained in there. You were so much part of their nostalgia about cricket at a time when South African cricket was extremely strong. Politically, it was evolving, and you were a major part of that. Do you sometimes feel that people are a little bit stuck in the Paul Adams, the 18-year-old that burst into the scene, and you now evolved as a coach? You're a damn good coach. You're a damn good analyst. You're a damn good spin bowling expert. Do you still feel that you still get, somebody called you Khocha the one day, like a grown man. Like, I feel you've moved on from that. Is that fair?
Well, you walk down the people still ask me, you still playing? I'm like, but I'm coaching longer than I played.
Exactly.
So,
that's the thing.
yeah, that's
I
the
still
thing.
expect you to turn over the ball like you.
Well, I do still.
You still do.
I
Your body's in good nick still.
So I still do that. It's more from showing that the strange bowling action can actually, and I know there's an era of kids that don't see me, they only watch me on YouTube.
Yeah.
Parents would have shown them.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do get people still thinking I'm this young Gogga
Yeah.
cricketer and that.
Yeah.
They do say, nee, Gogga, jy lyk nou 'n bietjie rond. But
It's just called adulting.
adulting, yeah, and I'm getting grey, not much hair on the head anymore. And yeah, it's like you said, you constantly got to evolve,
Yeah.
and make sure that I'm on top of the game. And look, cricket has been part of my life all the time, and I'm still involved in the game. It's from a player to a coach to wanting to inspire and develop other cricketers and all of that. It's just part of me.
Yeah.
It's part of my DNA.
Yeah.
It's in me. I live, sleep, eat cricket all the time. So that's just me.
Before we get into the final section, I wanted to just ask, the legacy that Paul Adams has on South African cricket. You will always be part of the history of South African cricket, but do you feel that pressure then to give back, or is it very natural that you want to give back with the foundation and all the training that you do currently?
Yeah, I think it's something naturally happens with me. But it also this didn't happen overnight. It's one that's been sitting thinking about it all the years. But it's like I said, it's been 30 years since I made my debut, and I'm starting to develop the Paul Adams Foundation now, and start small. Hopefully, let's see how we grow, and what I was 30 years ago, that beacon of light for a generation. I'm wanting to create that through the foundation, to be the beacon of hope, and also to make dreams become a reality. My dream was to play for South Africa, and it became a reality. So it's possible. And no matter if you are different, if you do it and you find a way that you are successful, go ahead and do it. So long you are positive, you're thinking in the right space, you will be able to get there. And that's harnessing what I was back then as a cricketer, try and develop that legacy, and hopefully that's the legacy I leave behind, that Paul Adams Foundation leaves behind, is that they were the foundation that makes dreams become a reality. So that's what we're building and striving to develop within the community.
And it's okay to make mistakes in your career, in your life. Nobody's perfect, right? I mean, we live in a world where kids grow up on Instagram and they think that the people that they follow just live this perfect life. It's not all rosy, right?
Yeah, not all rosy. There's lots of potholes in
especially in South Africa.
In South Africa, yeah. But sometimes big sinkholes.
Yeah.
But you've got to make sure you've got that rope to help climb up and understand how you can get out of the holes and the tough times.
And don't be scared to ask for help as well.
Yes.
We live in a world where
Yes.
people don't voice when they need help, and then it leads to other things.
That is often maybe the toughest thing. Is you're proud about yourself, you've got the pride, and you don't want to ask. It's like you got to actually tuck that away and actually just ask and speak to people. Sometimes it's tough to actually discuss and talk to people about tough things, but you need to get it out there.
Did you feel, I mean, these days we're encouraging, especially males, to speak to people. Did you feel back in the day that it was a very bravado environment, that you couldn't necessarily go and speak to somebody or ask for help at the time?
Yeah, I think that was the mentality back then. Often you think that you had all the answers. You feel you're weak if you do ask questions or ask for help in certain ways. But these days, that's where an awareness around mental health and all of those things is so important, especially as from a coaching perspective, that we've got to be able to have discussions, got to have those discussions or open up a discussion in that way, that you can unlock what's sitting inside a player or a person. And so that is such an important question that you just asked there now, that it was two different eras. I think, look, this day and age it has developed and things have changed, a lot more awareness on it, and it encourages men actually to actually be a lot more open.
And that's what I love about the fact that the current setup with, with Ash, Imran Khan, who have all been through the kind of provincial, national setup and faced all those things. Now you're imparting the knowledge, not only the knowledge, but all the things that were lacking in your era. You're able to now say, right, let's change that around, guys. We can now inspire this generation, not just on the technical side, but on the mental side and on the emotional side that you didn't necessarily have back in the day. I think that's can only bode well for this generation of young cricketers coming through.
Yeah, it does. And you learn from it, So we've learned lessons. You try and always make it easier. Or what lessons did we learn? Okay, what is the way that we're going to create a positive step forward?
Yeah.
And create a different environment, a culture that's a lot more safer and open, ways how we think as well about the game, about life, different things. So yeah.
Gogi, again, we could speak for hours, and the Kus sisters and the coffee has been amazing. But I know it's a beautiful day outside in Cape Town, yeah. And you and the missus need to go and enjoy the Cape Town life. So we're going to end off with the declaration, which is brought to you by Fields. It's a men's clothing store.
Is it a positive declaration?
It's a positive declaration, and no need for a night watchman today. But Fields is a great partner of ours for all your clothing needs off the field. They've recently opened a branch up in Johannesburg, so go and check them out on fieldstore.com. They even have sizes for the biggest man in cricket t-shirts. So it's a great brand, and we thank them for their support. So it's 6 quick fire questions. Need to just give me a quick answer. And let's see where this goes.
Okay.
First question. If you weren't a cricketer, what would you be doing?
Building speaker boxes in the back of taxis.
The worst advice you've ever received from a coach?
Worst advice? Block it out.
The most underrated cricketer you've ever played with?
Underrated cricketer? Probably Andrew Patik. He had one opportunity to play for South Africa, got called in the middle of a match, he was in Paul, drove down to Newlands, Shane Bond nicked him off, and he never played again for South Africa, which is a tough one. He scored plenty of runs domestically. He's like a cult legend within Western Province.
Patters, if you're watching this, answer my WhatsApps, please. I want to get you onto the show. Fourth question. Favorite non-cricket superstar you've ever met? Besides from Madiba.
Besides?
I mean, not that many get better than that, but celeb or music star.
Music star. I've met Morgan Freeman, Sean Paul. But I love Sean Paul, so I'm a big Chanda Paul. So yeah, he's a big star I've met, yeah.
Nice. The one batsman you just love dismissing most?
Love dismissing?
Yeah, like you had his number.
There was this Graham Thorpe. Enjoyed getting him out. I don't know, I got him out. May his soul rest in peace.
Yeah.
And he was one that struggled against me always when came into bat. Go get the balls up here. And then, I enjoy getting him out all the time.
Just to divert, one side question was, did you prefer bowling to lefties or right?
No, righties, but I don't know, Thorpe just struggled facing.
Okay. Fair enough. And then the final question, your worst roommate you've ever roomed with on tour, like the messiest or just difficult roommate?
You know, the one roommate, when you're sleeping and he's coming in the middle of the night. That's the one. Herschel Gibbs. But from entertainment value, he was the best.
Yeah. Okay. So you took the 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Because chances are you probably scored 100 the next day.
Now, when you wake up and you look at the bed, it's still made up, and you see as you're brushing your teeth, he's walking in. Morning, fella. Gogi,
it's been an absolute pleasure, and thank you very much. It's been I've known you for a number of years, and it's fantastic to see your development as a coach, as an analyst, and really like the having you involved in South African cricket is just it's really good. Our cricket is in good hands. Our young cricketers are in good hands. Hopefully, the next generation of spinners don't have back issues and all of that, but there's some great talent, and knowing that you're coaching them at youth level is fantastic to see. Good luck with the Hong Kong Sixers. I will look forward to seeing all your stuff on the socials. Keep that going. And thanks very much.
Thank you, Brookie.
Thanks,
No, it was lekker, man. Thank you. Enjoy the kusistas.
Thank you.